Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday Wake Up Training. Today's session, we have another guest instructor, Greg Cooper, who is the manager of our Carmel office. And Greg is going to share with us the next great thing that hopefully we are already starting to use. It will differentiate you. Greg's going to walk you through how to use the wonderful app that we have, Videolicious, that's branded to BHHS, and you can use it to really set yourself apart. So again, as usual, please hold your questions until the end, and I will then go back and answer any questions. I've just shared with you there Greg's iPad screen, which we're going to be using. So Greg is going to walk through things live with you, show you how to use this app, how to make it work, and give you some samples of things. So I'm going to close this there and turn it over to, to Greg, and I'm going to raise the size of that so it fills a full screen. There we go.
Awesome.
That should take care of it. So welcome, Greg. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you joining us online and in person. Those of you who are here, we appreciate that very much. A couple of thoughts, first of all, as we get started. The two most common thoughts when most of us considering video are, A, do I have to do it? I don't like the way I look and sound on camera. And B, the technical knowledge that you have to have sometimes can seem a little bit overwhelming. Let me say on both fronts, you have to get over that stuff. And here's why. First of all, maybe a word of assurance. When we see ourselves on video, when we hear our voices that are recorded, we're awkward with it. We don't like the way we look. We don't like the way we sound. But it is imperative that we remember that when people see our video, that's how they're seeing us in person. In other words, the people that are compelled to be your friends, the people that are compelled to be your coworkers, the people that are compelled to be your clients, they are seeing you as that video representation exists, and yet they still all like us. So it must be okay in how we appear to them. And therefore, that fear, that awkwardness that we have at seeing ourselves on video is really unfounded. Look, there's a way to do this so that you can put together cohesive, short, simple videos that will be profoundly more significant to the people that have a chance to see them than simply an email, simply a text, simply a post of here's my listing on Facebook. Probably the most significant place that these videos are going to get used at this moment in time, and this stuff's changing really quickly, but right now the most significant place is Facebook. Now, here's the real critical issue for Facebook. I know everybody thinks Facebook was dead. We all wrote it off 2 years ago. So help me. Facebook must have the worst PR people in the world because believe it or not, if you're over 30, if you're over 35, and frankly, for moving video, for people that are still logging onto Facebook, it is incredibly attractive. It gets your attention. When you scroll through a Facebook timeline and you see moving video, you want to see what it is. It just kind of by nature forces you to stop and watch. It doesn't mean that people are going to sit there and watch it all, but if that video is moving, excuse me, as they would scroll by it, it will get their attention enough to stop for a moment. And here's the other critical part of this. Your videos need to be short enough in length. I know everybody breathes a sigh of relief. That's the shorter the time that they have to see themselves on camera. Short enough to not run people off. If it's an 80-second video, and we can do all kinds of examples of 80-second videos, they will be much more likely to watch it all. Secondarily, the branding of Berkshire Hathaway, which I'm going to show you in a minute, is automatically put in at the beginning, at the end of the videos. So it's just a little subtlety. Let me give you some examples of the different kinds of things you can do on a primary level. And it's entirely possible we may go back and do a more advanced class, but what we want you to do today is get behind the wheel, drive around the block. That's the whole purpose of the information that we're sharing with you. Let me give you some examples. Last week, I have people who own a condo here that I have listed. They're out of town. I went in the condo. It's vacant. You know, they're living out in the East Coast. I did a 60-second video walking through the condo, just showing them, here's what it looks like today. We're going to have showings this afternoon. This is what the condition is. Here's what's going on elsewhere in the market. And, you know, for them to see that is way, way more powerful than them to get an email and say everything looks fine at the condo. It gives them actual physical touch with you and with the information that you're presenting to them. Don't ever underestimate how powerful this stuff is. That's the first part of this. Okay, I'm going to open this app, and I'm going to show you some things as we begin to march through this. I'm going to slide this up just a little bit. Bear with me, everybody. And then I'm going to get, okay. Here we go. I'm going to open the app and we're going to start to talk through this. All right. You can get the Videolicious app on the Play Store or in the App Store. Wherever you need to get it, you can get it for almost any device. There are a couple of Android devices that we've had some challenges on. If you have a Samsung, you will have no issue if you're an Android. We've had a couple of LG phones that have had some challenges. For the most part, we're trying to work through those, but I will tell you that it's there for everybody. Now, when you get the app, you'll have to log in, and you'll create a password, and you'll create a security code, et cetera, et cetera. And what happens is this: it will log you in for your app, and it will also log you in when you go on the web. So as you create a video, and you will save it, and we'll show you how to do that in just a moment, what will happen is Videolicious's website will save whatever it is, whatever work and content that you've created. So then you can go onto the website, again, which we'll show you in a minute, and create and find the embed if you want to put it somewhere. You can find the link if you want to put it somewhere. You can download the video. And what I generally do is I'll create a video, I'll save it in Videolicious, I'll go on the website, I will download that video onto whatever device I have at the time, and then I will go to my platforms, my social platforms, and I will download that video into my social platforms. Again, just posting a link is not nearly as powerful as actually posting the video. I think you're going to see LinkedIn go to live video here eventually, because right now all you can do is post links, and that's just not as advanced as Facebook is. So that's one of the first things to keep in mind. When you open the Videolicious app, this is what you're going to see. Now, I want to show you something down here in the right corner, and I'm going to tap on it and let it open, and then we'll back out in just a moment. There's a little cap, as in a graduation cap, down here in the right corner. When you open that, it allows you to open different videos so that you can see examples of what's been done. I've figured out all kinds of stuff that I didn't know how to do because I went down and opened this little hat. And there's also a couple of other places that we'll show you in the app to go ahead and get this. I'll move on to the next one. They're taking you through, as you open this little cap down in the right corner, they're taking you through the different stages of putting a video together. We'll show you that live in just a moment, but it's a really good place to be able to see how to put these things together. And it's 3 or 4 easy steps. There are different layers of it. You can do really simple, or you can begin to take some steps and do some things that are more advanced. And we'll show you what those are in just a second. So let's see if I can get this to close and not, okay. All right.
The screen isn't showing the cap, but it is down there in the lower right.
Right, it's down in the far lower right, and as you see it on your screen here, David, that's a really good point, and thank you. It's not appearing on the webinar portion of this, but if you go on to Videolicious on the app or on the website, you will be able to see the cap down in the bottom corner, and it doesn't show several. Okay, at the bottom of this screen, and again, it's gotten squeezed off the screen, so you're going to have to trust me. At the bottom of the screen, it says Choose Shots, and we're going to tap on that. And here's what happens when you do that. Videolicious will access your camera roll and your videos. It'll access all kinds of things for you. So we're going to start by going to the camera roll. So I've got some things on camera, and I'm going to go ahead and save them in the order that I want them to appear in the video. 1, 2, 3. Let's go 4, and maybe we'll try that as 5. Okay. Now, several things can happen here. If we want to write a note, if we want to put some information in about any one of these pictures, at the bottom of my camera roll that appears in the Videolicious app, it says Edit. And I can pick one screen and pull that photo up, and now I can do some different things to this. I can change it, I can crop it, I can move it, I can do a whole lot of different things that I want to do. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can move it up and down. You can do all kinds of different things. Here's the real critical issue for us. If we want to say something about this picture, we can do that. And it allows us to choose a place underneath the photograph for you to say something about it. Text line 1, and you can see there's the parallel lines above the text box will allow you to position this where you want to in the video. You can put it over to the far left. You can put it over in the center. You can put it over in the far right. For our purposes, we're going to put this in the middle, and we're going to say fall's a great time of the year, ... And up in the far right corner, some of this is actually making it onto the webinar, which we're grateful for. Up in the far right corner, we're going to click Save. So now you'll see the picture with that text in it at the bottom, and then you're going to go to the save in the upper right of this particular dialog box. You'll see save. So now when we get back here, as you look at picture number, I guess that's picture number 3, you can faintly see that there's some text down in the bottom left corner of that. So now we're going to go to the next step. We're going to click save up in this corner. We're going to go to step 2. A couple of things can happen here. You don't have to do anything at this stage if you don't want to. If you would choose to, you can talk over these 3 slides. So here's what I'm saying, folks. If you don't want to see your face on camera, if you want to do a walking video tour of a house, you don't ever have to be on camera. You can just put together a video, and you can go to this step and walk through it and add the audio to the video and to the still frames after the fact. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Let's see if we can do this. Tell our story. Okay, so we click on at the bottom. You can't see it. It says tell our story. We're going to go up here, and we're going to go to mic only. As you click on the mic, what you're seeing in the bottom right now are the pictures that we checked from our photo stream. We're not going to be on camera. Our face is not going to be on camera. All that's going to happen is that your pictures are going to come up, and you're going to be talking over them. So let me get myself oriented here. We're going to do a short video, and I'm going to show you what this would look like. The big red dot down the bottom left corner is our start and stop button. So we're going to try this now. Here we go. Fall is an awesome time of the year. There's all kinds of great decorating you can do. You can put pumpkins out to create a great scene for people as they come up to the front of your listing, or you can do things that are a little more intricate that might involve some help if you like to. But the bottom line is fall is an awesome time of year for family and friends. And by the way, we know what comes next summer, so fall will give us inspiration to remember where we're going to be when the weather warms up again. A little bit campy on the text, guys. I was making that up as I went. But here's what this is going to look. Now it goes to, when we save that, when we click done, it allows us to review our story. And bottom left, again, you'll see that arrow. So we'll see how much of this comes up, but we're going to be able to watch what I just did. And apparently we're not going to hear the audio here, but you would be hearing the audio of what I just said in the background of these particular pictures. So it's really important that you go ahead and have some kind of scripting in mind. You can write it out. It's okay. You can do it ad lib if you want to. And then as this particular section of pictures finishes, it will go back, and we're going to wait for just a moment for this to finish. And there's the last scene from my spring break last year that I added in for the fun of it. And then you have the branding at the end of this thing. So we're at 00, and up in the right corner again, we're going to be able to save this. So now what we're going to do when we click on save is it's going to allow us to save those photographs and my audio together. So we're going to click on save. Step 3, we're going to be able to choose a song that we want to hear. I'm going to put some audio in the background, a little bit of music in the background. So there are 4 choices you have. 3 of them are not going to be relevant. You're going to be choosing theme music, and it's going to open up 60 different potential music choices. Now here's what's going to happen. As you choose, I want to sample some music, for example. Over on the right, you see the little arrows. If you want to hear what Epic Euro Trip sounds like, and I'm not sure we're going to hear it, but that's where you would sample this music to be able to hear it. If you want to add it to your video, you're going to click on the actual name. Let's click on stop, and then you're going to click on the actual name of the music. Now, unfortunately, because you can't hear it, it's going to be a little more challenging, but here's what happens at this particular moment in time. At this moment in time, you can adjust the volume of your voice versus the volume of the music. You can go, and it's very self-explanatory, you can go louder or softer, depending on what you want to do. A louder voice, if you want the music more in the background, if you want the music to be more pronounced, you simply can adjust either way. For this one, we're going to leave it in the middle, and we're going to click save. So now, once again, it goes back to preview. I'm about dying this morning. So this would allow us to preview our video. And again, before we save anything, it'll allow us to watch it. Again, I apologize, folks, that the audio is not coming through here. I'm going to show you some examples of videos in a minute so you can get the feel for it. But all of this is being blended together now, and we're going to be able to see it. If you had this app on your phone or on your iPad, you'd be able to blend that together and see what it looks like, and it would come out as a finished product. You can also add filters. I don't think down in the bottom right corner, you can barely see an arrow here. You can add different kinds of filters to create a different effect if you want to. That's going to be no filter because we're going to be back to the origination of that. Okay, so now we've created this little video. And now we're going to click on save. So now we're getting ready to upload it to the Videolicious website. Once we've gone through those 4 or 5 elements, we're going to create it, save it to the Videolicious website. We're going to click on save. Now we're going to give it a title. Something deeply profound about our video. So we're going to click on done, and up in the right corner, I've given it a title, and we're going to click on save. So now it's processing the video. It's creating this video, and it's sending it up to the Videolicious website. And when it gets there, we'll go back in just a moment and show you what it's all about. When it gets there, you're going to be able to see the different options that you have for using this particular video. And you can see it's beginning the upload. It'll go pretty quickly, and we'll continue to talk about this as we go through this. But again, there are 100 different ways that you can use this app, and you can use video in general. And let me give an example. Somebody who's just come into the local portion of this, to the InLive, Josh Latham, one of our newer agents. Josh did a Facebook Live for one of his open houses he was holding a couple of weeks ago. He got to the open house a few minutes early. He turned the phone on himself. He went Facebook Live, and he's got this great video of him describing this house. And when he saves the video, it saves it permanently on Facebook. So anybody who scrolls across that is seeing him describing this house. It is infinitely more powerful to attract people to your message when you're doing things that are above and beyond the rest of what the community is affecting. We have a question locally. Go ahead, and I'll repeat it for everybody listening online.
If I'm doing a video of an open house and I want to be in a few different rooms,
right,
and I want to pause it while I'm recording, is that possible?
You will, but you have to add each shot. Then it will be saved as an individual shot. So you'd want to do that as a video, not as a Facebook Live, because if you do it as a Facebook Live, it's going to save every individual piece of video for you. So if you want to do it in Videolicious, what you would do is just shoot it as video, save it you'll save it in your camera roll, go back into Videolicious and just add them in. Just add, and Videolicious, by the way, this is a really good question in a deeper level. Everybody wonders, how do these things go together? If I want to have 5 pieces of video, how do I make that work together? You simply save 5 individual pieces of video, you click on the shots, and if you've done audio in each piece of video, for example, you click on those 5 shots, click save, and Videolicious will just overlap one to the other. It's just a very simple crossfade in how you do it. The best and simplest way that you can use this app at the beginning is simply to do, and I'll apologize for the television vernacular, but it's what they would call a one-shot, meaning you're going to do one short video segment and save it and put it in the app, whether that's an update to your clients who are somewhere else, and it almost doesn't matter where they are. If you've got a home listed locally and they're local, but you want to give them an update on what happened at the open house today, you can walk through the house, go into Videolicious, bring that piece of video up in Videolicious, save it, and send it to them. And they've got the update for the open house as to what happens. It makes you stand out. It will be unlike anything else that anybody else is giving their clients. This is moving really slowly for whatever reason, so we're going to continue to talk and see if it catches up with us at some point. There's a piece of video that I shared with some of you, and I may go ahead and post it on my timeline on Facebook, and it's from the Inman Connect conference at the beginning of August. And Inman Connect, for those of you who may not be aware, is one of the big national real estate conferences across the country. It is where the best of the best gather and synergize and brainstorm and do all of those things. And the keynote speaker this year at that particular event was a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk, who's a really smart marketing guy. He's a big video guy. He walked out for the keynote address of the event and said, you need to remember right now that you are a media company, real estate broker, because every single one of us has the opportunity to affect a great number of people by the tools we use. And guys, let's face it, just posting things for the most part are not anywhere near as powerful as the actual moving picture. And we're at 40-some%. We're just making enormous progress here. I don't know that I can get into my account while it's uploading, but we're going to try. So we'll see if we can go and take a look at some of the videos that we've done. Bear with me a second, gang. We may go online and go to the Videolicious website. That might be the way. IDOLICIOUS.
question for you while
Yes.
you're doing that. Can you actually make a video from the camera on a computer, or is it only for?
You can do anything that there's a camera. You can
Okay.
do it anywhere
So you
there's a
can do
camera. You can save the video. You know what? I want to back up on that. I've not made one from a desktop, so I don't know if you can use a desktop cam and do that. It's enormously easy from a phone or an iPad.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness gracious, a selfie stick and you're on the way, or hanging, just holding the thing out and talking. And I know these methods feel awkward to us, but we really need to embrace these things. 10% of our business is doing video, and I'm talking about 10% of our individual business. I'm talking about 10% of our industry is doing anything with video, and the ones that are doing it are standing out. Let's see if I can get you to I did a short video last week that I put up on Facebook and on several other sites. Okay, let's see. Let me log in here. There we go. Sign in. Okay. I'm going to sign in. I think I can show you some of my videos then. And at the very least, I'll give you a little bit of a feel. Okay. I'm going to bring this up and then I'm going to pause it. And we'll talk a little bit about this in just a moment here. Okay. This is a video that I shot. I was going to do a segment on Channel 13 here in Indianapolis last Sunday. So I went downtown last week, drugged somebody with me. Thank you, John Phelan, who I made him shoot the video with me. And I took this back and put it up. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples of what's happened. And again, you might not be able to hear the audio, but I added a couple of things into this. One of them is called B-roll. And this is the second step that you could learn, and it makes your video eminently more attractive and compelling to people. B-roll is what happens when you're talking along in a video and other pictures come up on the screen. You see it every night on the 6 o'clock news where a reporter is conducting a story, and ultimately there'll be other shots that come on over his voice and over his face that you will see that will support the story that he's doing. That's what I did on this one, and I'm going to give you the results of this in just a minute. And by the way, this is a great example. If you want to see the video with the audio, and I apologize for doing this, but I'm just going to give it to you. Facebook.com/G Cooper is my Facebook page. You can go there and see the rest of this, and it give you a good example. We talked at the beginning of the webinar about how painful it is or awkward it is for some of us to go ahead and want to be willing to shoot video and hear our voices and see our faces. They're all painful for me, and I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been putting video up. It's immensely uncomfortable because I'm not all that indifferent than you guys, and especially on this particular video where I'm kind of wisecracking a little bit because I'm just trying to get people to watch my segment on Labor Day weekend. But what I want you to watch, and this is about 60 seconds, again, I put this up and I downloaded the actual video onto Facebook. This video got 1,000 views in 3 days. I can promise you, if I just made a post and put my face up on a still shot on Facebook, it's not getting 1,000 views in 3 days. My message to all these different people that I'm trying to affect got sent out in a multiplied fashion because I was willing to take the time to do this video and put it up as a live video on Facebook. So I'm going to let you go ahead and watch this. Again, apologies that you can't see or can't hear the video, but I want to show you this B-roll that we got into. I love the branding at the start. It tells everybody where I'm at, and you're going to see in just a moment, again, this was me just standing down there and people are honking at me and yelling obscenities and all kinds of things as I'm trying to shoot this on Meridian Street. There's the B-roll shot that comes up. And it's so simple to do that. You bring that up, you choose that as one of your shots. This video stands on its own. It's about 60 seconds. I clicked on that video, and I'll go back in a moment and show you. We'll finish this out so you can see the branding here at the end. We're going to go back, and I'm going to show you in Videolicious. Okay, let's go back a minute, and I want to show you where. Okay, this video is uploaded. That's the good news. So we're going to go back. Bear with me, gang. I'm getting there. Cancel. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you how we did that little bit of segment with what we call the B-roll. That picture of me standing in front of the television station moniker. You saw the picture of the St. Joseph statue that I brought up in the middle of that video. Those little snippets are what take your videos and what take your message to a higher level. Because let's face it, somebody just rambling on for a couple of minutes is not the most compelling thing. It is far more compelling than just posting a picture of a listing and saying, here's my new listing. Gee, hope you like it. If you want to get your people's attention, you want to get views on a video tour, walk into a home with your video camera open and spend 15 seconds shooting the most cool feature about that house. Every house has got something that's a little bit unique. It's a fireplace. It's the basement. It's the master bath, whatever it is. Spend 15 or 20 seconds shooting that video. Open the camera, start the camera, and say, I'm here at 12345 Main Street. The one thing about this house that is really cool is that it has a bathroom that far outweighs in the master bedroom anything else that's in our price point. It's a really cool thing. The sellers have spent a lot of money on this. And boy, I sure hope you'll come see me at the open house this Sunday so you can take a tour of the entire home. Bam. You save it in Videolicious. You produce the video. You put the video on Facebook on Friday afternoon. And then you run a different one on Sunday, 2 hours before you're going to the open house. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to bring far more people in. And oh, by the way, if you make a conscious effort to tag some of these videos with hashtags and things of that nature for people who might be in that neighborhood, have your seller share that video on your timeline to their Facebook timeline, because you know what? They're going to have some of their neighbors that are interconnected to them on Facebook. And next thing you know, you got 5 people who live in that neighborhood who are coming over to see the person that did the cool video talking about how wonderful that master bath was. This is a business multiplier. It is powerful at the highest level. One of the things that I think we see in our industry, and it's the reason that I love the opportunity that we have here. Realtors are not the fastest people in the world when it comes to accepting technology. Let's face it, a lot of our business is older. We don't want to do difficult, challenging, or new types of technology. That's an advantage to those of us who will accept and adopt this technology. Don't be afraid of it. You can't mess up because you're not going to put anything online that you're not happy with as a finished product. And so that's probably the real critical issue here, is that embrace it, take it in simple steps, shoot a piece of video as a sample. Go out in your front yard and shoot a piece of video. Put it in Videolicious. It allows you to edit and crop the video, add some music, or just take some video in your front yard of your house. When I was learning this, I did 4 pieces of video around my yard, and I dumped it in Videolicious, and I chopped them down. It allows you to crop them a little bit very easily in stage 1 when you edit them, and we'll go back and look at that in just a moment. I saved them. I put some music in. I did some audio, verbal audio. I clicked start, did 60 seconds worth of audio, and saved it, and just learned that way. I learned like most of you are going to learn or are learning or will learn. I learned by the art of just going ahead and practicing with this. I can't overemphasize enough how unbelievably powerful this tool is. And because of the fact that our industry is so slow to adapt these kinds of tools, this is probably going to be something that we're going to be able to use in an enormously strong way for a long time to come. One other thing here, and it's just the thought of views and what this all means as we create different content and put it out. There's a million platforms. There's a lot of hard choices. Where do we put these videos once we create them? What do we do with them? What are we trying to accomplish? And I'm going to derivate a little bit into the whole social media conversation here. You don't have to be well-versed at all of them. If you're 30 or 35, we probably need to be taking a hard look at Snapchat. If you're older than that, just concentrate on 1 or 2 platforms. Concentrate on Facebook and LinkedIn, putting your videos up there. You're going to get a lot of attention on those 2 platforms, providing that you have enough people that you're interconnected to. And that's the first place you need to start. Everybody says, gee, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to do it. I feel like I'm soliciting people. The other conversation that a lot of people have, and I think it's an objection that a lot of people have, is that they feel like when they use social media or when they're integrating their real estate business in the context of everyday life, they feel like they're intruding. Oh my gosh, I'm soliciting people. You don't have to be a one-man band. Real estate's part of your life, but it's not all your life is. It's okay to integrate these videos that you're going to use about your open house on Sunday afternoon. It's okay to integrate those with the fact that you took your family out for a great dinner on Saturday night. You can put 15 seconds of that video up. If you're going out for a family birthday, that makes us human. Those are the things that make us real. Still pictures are like driving a 1984 car right now. Some people still drive them, but not many people want to. That's why we need to all be working and making this effort into video. I can't imagine that in a few years, almost everything that you're going to see from especially the younger demographic in the real estate industry is going to be on video. I think you're going to see sales meetings. I think you're going to see all kinds of individual events that are going to be a part of Facebook. Here's the thing that we need to remember. Sometimes creating content feels overwhelming. It doesn't need to, because you live your life every day in this business. That's the content. 20 seconds here, 30 seconds there, 70 seconds on another occasion. Those are the moments in your life that make you a successful broker. Those are the moments in your life that make you real to the people that you're trying to affect. That kind of goes back to this concept of why adopting these things is so incredibly important. Look, if it makes you feel better and getting over some of those initial jitters that you have or some of that awkwardness that you have about putting yourself online, just go through a day and document 5 20-second or 30-second moments. Create 5 little videos and just watch them. You're going to see that they're not as awkward as you might think, or have a friend or a family member watch them. You're going to be going, oh, I hate my voice. And they're going to be going, what's the big deal? You had a great meeting today. What's the big deal? You listed a new house today. What's the deal? You showed homes to that buyer today that you have so much fun with, and you looked at a house that they're going to end up buying. That's the way people see us, despite the fact that we have an awkwardness and an uncomfortness, a comfortability with being able to do this on our own. Let's see if we can add a few more technical issues into this. Bear with me a second. And maybe give you a little bit more knowledge as we get through this. Okay. We'll go back to our photo stream. Let's see if I can, I'm going to just choose some of the ones I used before. If we want to drag, we can reorder the ones that we have. It'll automatically, as you note, as I move these pictures, Videolicious automatically changes the order for you. So we're going to go back. We've got these pictures that we've highlighted. If we want to drag the order, we do that. It changes the order, and then we click on save, and we're right back at our photo stream with those 4 issues. Yes, David, you have a question?
What did you click at the bottom? It doesn't show.
Okay, sorry, gang. I'm doing it off my iPad. Okay, as you watching the webinar are looking at this, at the bottom left corner that you cannot see, there's a little finger, and it says drag. You simply click on it, and it allows you to put your finger on the picture and reorder. You can do it any way you want to do it. Once you've done that, as you notice the little numbers on the pictures, it automatically reorders them, and then you click on save. And when you go back to your photo stream, now you have the new order of the pictures that you've got. That's really important, guys. When you start adding 10 and 12 and 15 photos, and I realize that feels like it's way down the road for you, but when you add a lot of different pieces of video or photos, that's an incredibly helpful tool rather than having to unhighlight all these and re-highlight them in the order that you want them to be. It's really cool to be able to move them around, not unlike you move pictures around within your virtual tours when you're editing those in whatever platform you might be using. So let's see if we can go through a couple of more of these things again, just so that you can see what we've got. Let's do a little bit of editing, and let's take this particular picture. We're going to add some text to it. We're going to put it over to the right this time, and we're going to say, and we're going to save it. So now we've got that on our photo. We're going to click on save. So now the picture that's the number 3 in the top row here is where we've added our text. We're going to save it. Now, let me cover one thing here that we haven't talked about. If you have a piece of video that already has the audio on it that you want, and you're not going to add any overlying pictures, you don't have to do anything at step 2. This is something we didn't cover before. All you have to do is you're going to click skip. Now, let me give you a cautionary note here. When you click skip, your iPad or your device must be allowing full access, Videolicious full access to all of your information. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck on section 2. You'll click on skip, and it'll say, do you allow Videolicious to access all of your device? You're going to say yes. It'll allow you to go past that. One of the things that I did, of course, because I'm a nerd and I have nothing better to do at 2 in the morning when I can't sleep, is that when I went on this step, and let's see if we can cover a little bit of this. They have a lot of different things here, and I think that these things, while they are not accessible to us, these are a bunch of pop songs that they have that are in the library. I think that you have to have a much higher level of subscription. You're paying a lot of money for it if you want to be able to use those things. I didn't find that they were necessarily essential for my use, because in this theme music, as I was beginning to say a moment before, there are all these different categories that, there's jazz, there's pop, there's guitar based, there's Latin, there's all kinds of really retro. I mean, there's all kinds of really cool different types of music that you can add in that will be a huge bearing on the mood that you're trying to create with what you're trying to record. And if nothing more than what you learned today, please record a piece of video, get this app on your device, and play with it. Just learn to play with it. This particular tool is, as I said before, a business multiplier. You'll add money in your pocket in 2017 if you learn how to use this and you dedicate yourself to doing that. This is what this is about. This is one of these tools that Berkshire Hathaway has that brands you, that puts it together, that gives you all these tools. And I guess as I close here, I just want to offer one other thing. I realize that for some of you watching this technology will still seem a little uncomfortable and may seem a little complicated. You will pick it up if you play with it. And on the backside of that, I've been trying to figure out a way for 5 years to do video and to be able to put that branding at the front and the back of my videos. And I haven't been able to do it. I've done a ton of YouTube videos, but I haven't been able to create that Berkshire Hathaway screen that comes up in the beginning and the end, because that's an entirely different process and it's challenging. It's at a higher level of skill than I have. This app allows you to do that. It's not something that requires you to learn to speak a second language. This app is not any harder than using the majority of the apps that you have on your phone or iPad every day. It's not any more difficult. It's new and different for some of us, but it's not any harder. So in the end, I think I would encourage you, please, I plead with you, please take some time and learn it. Spend a little time when there's not a lot of pressure on you, when you don't have 17 other things bearing down on you on a weekend, and learn these things and begin to use it in the most primary sense, because it will absolutely help you build your business.
Great. Fantastic. I'm going to close this, see if we have any questions. Greg, if you wouldn't mind, let's talk a little bit about some of the different ways you could use these. You've talked about open houses. You've talked about a new listing. You talked about updating a listing client on the status of their house when they're out of town. You could probably also use it, I would imagine. We actually this spring had people making offers on houses sight unseen.
Yes.
So, and I heard stories of people using their iPad and walking around. This takes that to a higher level that you'd be able to do that kind of thing. I'm going to open this up, see if we have any questions or anything. So anybody out there have any other questions, just type it in the chat room. Anybody here have any questions or any ideas of different ways? I've got another thought on something as well.
I got one. So I used to use BombBomb.
Yes.
But I only got into it for like a week. And from what you either one of you know about BombBomb,
I do.
So I plan on using this as an intro to very specific people that I've not met but I'm connected with, say on LinkedIn, sending them a quick email message, basically just directing them to this. Do you see any difference between this and BombBomb that makes one or the other more advantageous in that scenario?
Josh has asked the question of, how does this Videolicious compare with BombBomb, which is a video app that works on your computer? I've used that a lot myself. So, Greg, what are your thoughts? Have you used BombBomb?
BombBomb is probably 10% more challenging in its technology and its usage and skill level. It's a good app. I don't have any issue with that at all. And I think it's one that's become pretty predominant in a lot of ways. Again, when you talk about people in our industry, nobody's using anything, guys. 10% of our industry is using these things. So, those of you who are already using BombBomb, good for you. I think that what I like within our company for Videolicious is that the branding is right there. And every single time you get 10 or 15 seconds on both ends reminding people who you work for. And that's a really powerful thing. Sometimes we underestimate having our name next to Warren Buffett's company doesn't carry a lot of clout. But no matter where you are, it does.
Julie's asked a question, how do I get that branding?
Okay. Berkshire Hathaway has this set up so that you can get this for free. So what you do, Julie, is you go onto the Videolicious website online. So you're going to go onto the website and you're going to create an account. and it'll ask you what company it is. Use your Berkshire Hathaway email sign in, which is what I did. I changed it ultimately, but I used it initially to set up my account. Once the app knows you're a Berkshire Hathaway agent with you when you create an account, that branding automatically appears. You don't have to do anything at that point. And if you have trouble with it, let us know. One other thing I want to add, and the folks in the room may have heard me say this, but I think it's really important. When you have issues, there are easy ways to connect to the Videolicious support team. There are contact us at the bottom of every page. There's contact opportunities, and most of them are going to be email. Let me tell you, a couple weeks ago, I was doing a video and I was stuck on something at 7 o'clock on a Sunday night. I sent them an email on a Sunday night at 7 o'clock, and by 11 something, they had sent me back an answer. I had sent them 2 pieces of video and said, why is this not working? And they had watched the video and sent me back a detailed answer that solved my problem on a Sunday night within a few hours. That just tells you how significant that this company is committed to people using the app effectively. And it tells you that if you have questions, email them, because during the weekday, you're going to get an answer in an hour or so. And that'll help you make a lot of progress. So don't worry about the support. And Julie, if you go ahead and attempt to create an account and you have any other issues, you can certainly email them, or you can give us a call. You can talk to me
or Michael Albrecht.
Any of us.
I was able to do it, and I'm fairly tech savvy, but it was pretty easy to do. Again, you just go online, register, and boom, then you try the app. And when you log in to use the app on your phone or your iPad or whatever, boom, it's automatically there. You don't have to go retrieve anything at all.
And by the way, when you create that account online and you add the apps to your various mobile devices, be it iPad or be it a phone, your logons will be the same everywhere. It'll all take you to your account. And once you log in on your mobile apps, you'll stay logged in unless you change that status. And what that means is that when you finish a video and you click to the upload stage, as we showed you how to do it, it'll automatically send it to your account, and then you go online and you can find the video there once it gets to 100%. So it's pretty simple to do.
A couple more quick things. John Phelan has pointed out to be a word of caution about Facebook Live, because it's actually live, for better or worse, so no editing like this program. So I would assume that if you do Facebook Live and you don't like it, you could delete it.
Yes.
So, but you can't edit it. But
actually you can. But it's at a much higher level.
Okay.
I had to do that
difficult.
on one over the weekend because I had to request to take something out that I shot. Facebook Live is editable, but remember, John's point is a really good one.
Yeah.
If you trip and fall while you're taking a tour of your open house, you're probably going to want to delete that and start over, unless you're just in it for the slapstick.
There you go.
It's not. You're not going to have time to edit that while you're in the open house.
Okay. So I would love to hear other ideas that people have and use for doing videos.
I've got one that I think when it's done will be a really interesting link for me in my business. I'm creating about a 2-minute, it'll hopefully end up shorter than that, video biography. And it's basically me sitting on my desk, and I scripted it out ahead of time, just talking about my life. And I've got pictures of myself when I was a kid, and when I was playing Little League, and when I was in high school, and I was in the student council. When I went to IU, I showed them pictures of me at a football game. All these things. Guys, we are massively intrigued in our society by storytelling. And the more stories we tell, the more attention we get.
Wow.
People, if I don't know you, and I click on your page and I see video biography, 2-minute video biography, and I open it up and you're showing me a picture of you when you're in the 6th grade, you got braces and goofy glasses on, I'm going to chuckle and I'm going to keep watching, because our brand, our identity, our image is constructed by everything we do. It's going to be out there and it's forever. And so don't hesitate to put those moments out. Anyway, my point was, a video biography would be almost the easiest thing in the world to do. And I got news for you. If you have one of those that's 90 seconds long and somebody calls you about seeing some houses this afternoon that's a referral, send them that. They're going to think it's kind of goofy, and they're going to endear to you because you've made yourself a real person.
Wow. What a great idea. Julie has asked a question that she's not quite sure how to create an account. She only sees a sign-in option. I would assume that if you click on the sign-in option and you don't have an account already, it'll probably walk you through, set up a new account.
I would probably need to get on the phone with Julie.
But we'll take a look and shoot you some information. But I bet if you click on sign in, it'll probably take you to. Yeah, you have to do
You
it.
can't do it
yeah,
from your mobile device. You have to be on
Yes.
the web browser.
You have to be
that
on
may
a
be the
computer.
starting point.
Right. You can't do it from a mobile device. So,
You can do it if you go to a web browser, I believe.
well, that's true. Yeah, but you just have to
But
do
you
it
can't go on the app. You can't
Yes.
download the app and create the account. You have to create the account to use the app, and so that the app will integrate itself with your account
Right.
online.
Does that make sense? So you have to do it through a browser, whether you're on your iPhone or iPad or whatever. It has to be through the browser, not through the app, if that makes sense. One last thing, I love that idea of having a 30 to 45 second video, CV, resume of yourself to send to people or have on your website when people check in, as opposed to just pictures of you talking about yourself. So Julie is asked to be contacted, so she's in a browser. We'll get with you and walk you through how to do that. The other thing that I'll mention, and then we'll close up, basically, Greg, you'd shared with me a couple of years ago a set of videos from a company, I think it was in Charlotte, North Carolina, where they had a series of videos that were professionally done, but you could do them this way, of different agents walking down the street or standing in front of some shops, coffee shop or whatever, in neighborhoods that they served. And they were talking about, this is one of my favorite neighborhoods. I love to work with people buying and selling in Fountain Square, in the Carmel Arts District, in wherever it might be, and walking around. And you'd probably want to do a couple of different clips. They show themselves walking down the streets. Here you could have yourself a little bit and then show, this is my favorite coffee shop. This is where I go to buy books. It's a book, whatever it might be. What a great thing also to have to send out about yourself to
Imagine
people.
being, and David's given it's a great example. Imagine being in a community that you want to be identified with,
Mm-hmm.
that you like, that you care about. Do 5-10-second pieces of video, or 8-10-second pieces of video. You overlap them into Videolicious. You create a video with a little bit of music in the background. And by the way, when you put them online, go tag some of the civic leaders in those communities. Put it on Twitter and find out a couple of the city council members, or find out, some of the people who help govern and serve that area. And guess what? They're going to think it's cool that you're saying good things about their community, and they're going to share those things. This whole concept of creating content is about other people's relation to us. It's not about us. It's about them relating to us.
Yes, absolutely. So any other questions or comments? Good stuff. Thank you very much, Greg. Julie, all it says on the webinar here on GoToMeeting is Julie. So I'm sorry, but I need to ask, which Julie is this? And, what's your last name? I'm sorry, I don't know which Julie this might be, so my apologies.
Julie, if you can just call Michael or myself, and I'm 848 Greg, that's my annoying phone number. Call one of us and we'll help you. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you being a part of this today, or whenever you're a part of it, sometime in the future.
Yes, indeed. So, well, Julie says thanks, but I still don't know which Julie it is.
You have to call one of us, Julie. We'll help you. Be glad to do it.
So, Julie, give us a call.
Julie's embarrassed to want to put her name on the webinar. I get that. I'm right there with you.
We won't share your video, Julie.
Thank you, Julie. Thanks, everybody.
All righty. Well, again, Julie, please call Greg Cooper or Michael Albrecht, and we'll get you set up with an account for this. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Greg.
Okay. A little bit helpful, I
Yeah.
hope.
Julie Brandon, there we go. It's Julie Brandon. You ought to write down her number. Thank you, Julie.
Hang on. We need to go sit in front of a computer.
You got it.
1 second.
You pay close attention to Greg's videos that he's posting. Half the time my house is on.
Yeah, exactly. Neighborhood.
I'm usually standing up in my
He's in the
driveway
cul-de-sac.
because we do live in a cul-de-sac. Where's Julie Brandon work at? What's her number?
812
Oh, she's probably
459
Okay.
2552. That's great. Super. Thank you very much, all. We'll see you next time.